This is the Interested Catholic podcast. My name is Aidan, and together with Kaylynn, we will be your hosts. Welcome to episode 1. In today's short episode, we will introduce ourselves, where the idea for the podcast originated, and the direction we want to see this podcast moving. The general idea for the podcast is to engage the youth of the church in relevant topics to them in the current world, and how it contrasts or provides similarities in how the church sees these topics. We would love to engage with you from time to time in these episodes. So if you think you'd like to be a part of the podcast, let us know by contacting us via email at theinterestedcatholic@gmail.com or Instagram at theinterestedcatholic. And let us know what kind of topic you would like to engage in. We would also like to wish all the fathers out there a blessed and happy Father's Day, and a special shout out to mine.
A special shout out indeed to all fathers across the parish, across the archdiocese, and also our priest of Corpus Christi, Father Jackson and Father Ravi. We wish them also, and also a very special happy Father's Day to my dad. Very grateful to have my dad still with me by the grace of God. And good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we do welcome you to the very first episode of the Interested Catholic podcast. It sounds quite amazing to say that if I actually think about it now. But you know what? We are so grateful to have everyone listening wherever you are, whether you are driving, whether you are at work, whether you are spending time with your dad. We are so grateful for your support, and we look forward to this journey that we are about to embark on. And also all praises to God for allowing us to be on this platform. Also, yes, my name is Kaylynn Engelman, and I am the co-host alongside Aidan. And we are your host for the Interested Catholic. And we look forward to journeying with you on this very exciting journey that we have ahead of us. And we look forward to everyone listening and everyone's feedback. So my perspective on why we're starting this podcast, I think just a general discussion about having an open platform for the youth and the young adults to share their views, their thoughts and opinions about their faith, about the church, different questions they may have also. Because if I just think about it and I look at it, as a young adult in the church, even today, even though I grew up in a Catholic home all my life, baptized in a Catholic church and attending catechism and life teen, and while life teen wasn't a thing when I was a youngster, how things have changed. I still, up till this very day, still have so many questions. And yes, as time goes on, the questions are answered, and the questions are, answered in a different way. But at the age that I am, which I'm not going to mention, because we don't want to discuss certain things. But yeah, at the age that I am, I still have those questions. And sometimes my parents can't even answer those questions for me. And I come to the priest, and maybe they can't answer the questions. So now myself and Aidan are going to create this platform. Well, it is the very first episode, but we are going to create this platform for the young adults, for the youth, because a lot of people says you have a church, you have a ministry, but the young adults are running away and the youth is running away, so we don't want that anymore. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are creating this platform for the youth, the young adults, and yes, mas, pas, mommies, daddies, uncles, aunties, godparents, priests, deacons, religious people. I think I'm missing quite a few. PPC, Life Teen, Age, music ministries, the elderly, if I can say that. I don't want to use the word elderly because, sometimes we are judged for using the word elderly. But yes, this is not just specifically for the youth and the young adults, but we invite everyone to listen, and just support us and be there for us as our guides as we continue on in this journey.
So, my perspective of why we started this podcast. I wanted to have a platform where I could have an open discussion about different topics related to life as a youth and current events, and how the church perceives these topics and its views. And in this way, I hope to encourage the youth of our parish to stay involved in the church and its ministries.
We indeed do hope to encourage the youth and the young adults across the archdiocese and across all Catholic parishes around the world to stay with us, and we just look forward to journeying with everyone as we continue this journey. So I was an altar server at Corpus Christi Parish, and I say was because I eventually grew out of it, but by the grace of God, I did not remove myself from the parish, because the parish has always been, Corpus Christi has always been the one. So currently I am also serving as the PPC youth representative at my parish, which is quite a big responsibility, but very, very grateful for that opportunity that I've been given. I also am a proclaimer of the word, and then also the Life Teen team member, which is a very exciting position that I do serve at the church, because I get to interact with the youngsters and the teens, and I get to listen to their stories and about school and their lives, and which is very, very interesting. And then lastly, I am now a co-host on the Interested Catholic podcast. It's quite a mouthful. It's quite a lot of ministries to be part of as a young adult, but I say this again, very grateful to be part of all these ministries, very grateful that I get to serve God in my church, and also get to be a co-host with Aidan on this podcast that we are now going to be doing.
So, where do we go from here? Well, we're looking to engage with you through email and Instagram chats, finding out what sort of topics you'd like to be a part of in these discussions. We look forward to keeping the podcast open and relevant to you guys, the listeners. We also would like to plan special guest appearances in this podcast to keep you engaged.
I think the special guest, as Aidan just mentioned, the special guest is it's a very exciting one, because special guests, people may, or the listeners may think it's just going to be our priests or our deacons or people that listeners may know. But there is some very, very special guests that we are hoping to have. Contact has not been made just yet, but we will make that contact very soon. But I can reassure every single listener that is listening to this podcast this afternoon that the special guests are going to be blown out of this world. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of laughs. There's also going to be a lot of tears. That I can guarantee, because between myself and Aidan, my co-host, I am the crier. So there may just be a lot of tears also. There's going to be also a lot of praying. We're going to throw in some praise and worship. And also we're just going to throw in everything that we can. The special guests are also not just going to be older people. It's also going to be little youngsters. Well, yes, it's also going to be youngsters. Youngsters as a thing of maybe some teens from Life Teen. Maybe some of them from other ministries, like the music ministry that Aidan is also part of. And I think that we don't want to reveal too much with our plans, because, sometimes people say that whatever plans you have, you must not speak about it. And yes, we would like to reveal a lot of things, but for now, we just keep it all a secret. And as time goes on, as weeks go by, as months go by, and God willing, as the years go by, and hopefully Aidan and I are still sitting where we are sitting today.
That is the plan. That is where we'd like to be.
Absolutely, that is really where we'd like to be, because I feel like this is a platform that we can just open up, and hopefully we can just continue to invite other young adults and youth to this platform, as I mentioned, to share their views and their objectives and their opinions, and throw in their questions that maybe mom and dad cannot answer, or ma and pa cannot answer. So we are just here, and we are here to help you to the best of our ability, and just have an open discussion on a Sunday afternoon over some tea and cake. Maybe we're going to throw in some lunch also. We don't know. Currently, we don't. But yeah, just throw in some lunch also, and just, sit back, relax, put in your earphones, or put on the TV, or however you want to listen to this podcast, whether you are driving to Simonstown or some beachfront on maybe a bit warmer day than what it is today. But yeah, we are so excited, and we look forward to journeying with you. And we are not going to reveal any plans just yet. But as I mentioned, as time goes on, we will reveal quite a few things, special guests and all of those things that we have planned for this platform.
I was actually quite pleasantly surprised because when we put the announcement out for this podcast, I was already approached by people saying, I'd like to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So we definitely need to plan that. And going forward, that's definitely going to be a thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, Aidan and I were just speaking a bit earlier, and we said the amount of people that has reacted to us when this big announcement went out, because the post said special announcement, and the amount of people that reacted and made contact with us and stopped us outside our parish, whether it is the evening mass or the morning mass, or an event that maybe Aidan and I may have attended, and I would message Aidan, or Aidan would message me, Kaylynn, this one stopped me, or I would say, Aidan, this one stopped me. And it's very overwhelming, but it's such a big blessing to know that we have all the support and the kindness and the love. Because sometimes as a young adult, you tend to want to do certain things, but you're not always supported in certain ways or certain views. But this the feedback that we have gotten thus far, and I mean it's only been a couple of days that the announcement went out, and people has really been saying, as Aidan mentioned, we would like to be a guest, or I think you should speak about this topic, or I would like my niece or my nephew to be on the podcast as a guest speaker. And it's very exciting. It's very, very exciting that people has really engaging with us. People from the archdiocese even, and I mean we would think that it's just from our parish, but people from the archdiocese has even been reaching out to us and saying, listen, we are so proud of you. We wish you all the best. And I think and I speak for myself and Aidan here, we didn't expect such overwhelming feedback from everyone. We expected the positive feedback, but we didn't expect that overwhelming feeling of people actually stopping us and supporting us, and people asking us how many days, how much time do you have left. And we just think like, Aidan, I say to Aidan, just like people need to just like relax and breathe. we do have other things also, but I just it's such a happy feeling inside of me, and such a blessing that we just get all this positive feedback and the exciting people. And just so funny, just yesterday or the day before, I was in Spa and just doing little grocery shopping. As a young adult, you now have to do that also. And someone stopped me and someone said to me, oh, your podcast is... I said, yes, the podcast is releasing. And the funny thing that this person said to me is, you know what, I think I should get your autograph and Aidan's autograph now already, because what happens when you guys go bigger and better? And I said, listen, we don't want to speak about such things just yet, but we keep it in our prayers, we keep it in our thoughts, and we just continue to praise God for all his blessings for this very short time that you have made this release. So this is the conclusion of our very first episode. Aidan, can you believe it?
We were planning this for so long, and it was just, we need to get it done. We needed to put it out there, get it started, because once you start it, then you get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. And now I think we finally started, and I think if you were to ask Aidan and I how many times we have to put this off.
No, we were like, it was very interesting for me to say, I want to do this podcast. I didn't know what sort of time I would have on my hands. I didn't know the plans. And we were going back and forth saying, is this what we want to do?
Yeah, so we're finally getting it out there. We're finally doing it, and yeah, the very first episode is out. It's there. You get to know more about us, and as time goes on, I think we may reveal some more things about ourselves. Maybe some personal things we don't know yet. But you know what? Thank you so much, everyone, for your support, for your kindness, for your positive feedback, especially when we made the big announcement. Thank you for your shares, your views, your personal messages, your stoppings that you have done in the shopping centers or wherever the case is. Yeah, we just continue to thank you for that. And we look forward to hearing from all of you as time goes on the different platforms, which is Instagram and the email. Yeah, we look forward to that. And we thank you so much once again. To every listener out there, thank you so much wherever you are, whatever you are doing, whether you are in the kitchen making lunch or taking your father out or whatever the case is, or just spending time alone. Thank you so much for your support, your kindness, and God bless you. And we wish you all a beautiful Sunday.